proof is good enough, then I will.
That's what I want to know. What proof is good enough for you?
What proof is good enough for me? Put your finger up and say, Allah, please tell me that you exist.
Okay,
and if your God appears
you
on the
want
sky and he tells you that he exists, I will believe you, and I will convert to Islam right now.
Content over everything.
Listen. So you want a physical proof?
I want physical proof
Good.
right now.
Now you're asking me physical proof about something, about God who is immaterial. That shows the illogicality of your understanding of God is. You see,
well, if
anyone,
it's not material,
then
how does it exist?
Can I answer? You ask me a question. Let
does
me finish.
It exist in
Let
your
me
head?
finish.
Because if
Let
that's
me
it,
finish.
then you just have an
Let me
imaginary
finish.
friend.
Let me
I'm
finish.
sorry.
Let me finish.
Okay, finish.
You ask me a
Please,
question.
finish, please.
Yes? Just like your consciousness is immaterial and you believe in your consciousness.
Okay.
Yes? You think you have consciousness?
I do.
It's immaterial?
Yes.
Yes? So why can't you believe in God then? God is someone who is unlike his creation. That means you see all this matter and energy that you see, unlike all of that is God, my God. Wait.
Listen,
now you're asking me.
When we think there's electrical discharges in our brain, that's us thinking.
That's not consciousness.
That is consciousness.
Which
Because
scientists define that is consciousness. I like the way he says, oh God, Jesus Christ, oh Lord, when he doesn't even believe in God.
So what?
It's
It's a matter of speaking.
No, it's a matter of...
It's a part of language.
It is something called subconsciousness.
It's a part of
Subconsciously, you believe
Saying,
God exists.
oh Lord, oh Jesus Christ, means that I am in disbelief of what you are saying.
No.
It's a part of language.
No, it's not part of language.
Yes, it is part of language, of English language.
Listen to me. If someone doesn't believe in a spaghetti monster, and he keeps saying spaghetti monster, yes, that means something is wrong with him. Either that, or subconsciously he believes it exists.
Okay.
If all the time,
okay.
you know, this is
Why
an
do
exclamation.
atheists celebrate Christmas?
Ask the atheists. Who are asking me?
No, ask the
atheists,
atheists.
of course.
Because it's part of culture.
It's
part of culture.
So now you are speaking. It's not
Because
part of
what I'm
language.
saying,
No.
Oh Lord,
No, no.
Jesus Christ,
You said-
it's part of language and
Earlier-
of culture.
no.
It's not
Okay.
only part
when
of
you
religion.
when you say it's a part of culture,
Yes.
that I believe. But earlier you said it's a part of language.
Yes, it is part of
No,
language.
it's a part of culture.
No, it's also
Okay,
part of
so you
language and culture are very linked together.
So you
very much
come
linked
from
together.
a Christian background.
Okay, yes.
That's the reason you say Jesus Christ when you exclamation.
Yes.
And you say my God. I agree with that. However, for you to ask for proof of God who is immaterial and asking for a physical proof,
If he's
it doesn't mean.
immaterial, you can never know that he's real.
So your
you can never
consciousness
be
is not real
certain
then.
of it.
Your conscience is not real then.
Well, my conscience might not be exactly as I perceive it.
Is it real?
I don't know.
You don't even know your consciousness is real. My God, why do I even talk with this guy?
What's the point? What's the point?
There are so many points.
Well, if you can't
unfortunately-
see, if you can't hear, if you can't do, communicate in any kind of way with your God, how do you know that He exists?
Who said I can't communicate?
How do you communicate with Him?
By praying to him.
Sure, and He
Yes.
talks to you, and
Yes.
you hear His words.
Yes,
I'm sorry, sir, but you
Can I-
need to go to a...
Can I finish the
you need
statement?
to go
Don't
to a
put words in my
mental
mouth.
hospital, sir.
Don't put
You
words.
need
Look,
to go
I'm
to
not a
mental
Christian like your
hospital.
background. I don't hear words of the Holy Spirit.
You can say whatever you want
No,
about
you
it.
ask me a question, allow me to answer.
Okay, answer.
Immediately you jump to conclusion like you always
Well,
do.
I do, because you say that you're hearing what your God speaks
When
to
did
you.
I say hearing him?
You just said it.
No.
When you pray that you hear
said,
what He's saying
you asked,
to you.
do you
what He's
speak to
telling
him?
you.
I said, yes, I speak to him.
Yes, I speak to Him. So He speaks back to you.
No, let me answer that.
No, you speak to Him, so you only
Let
speak to
me-
Him, and He
let
never
me
answers.
answer that.
Then how do you know that He
Let
exists?
me answer that.
If you speak to Him,
Let me
He doesn't
answer.
answer.
Let me
how
answer
do you. Know
you.
He exists?
Let me answer
okay,
you.
Answer me, please.
Good.
Go ahead.
Stop jumping to conclusions.
Oh,
I know
really?
you. I
Because
know
that's
you.
what you
I know you come from a
explaining.
Christian background.
So what?
Do not assume we all are Christians who hear voices of the Holy Spirit.
Oh, really? I never said that.
You did.
I said that about you because you said that.
I never said
you,
it.
You
It's
told
on camera.
You told me that you were speaking
Okay,
to your
guys.
God.
Did I say I
told
hear
me-
my God?
You told me
Did
that
I
you
say I hear
speak to
my
your
God?
God.
Okay, so nobody heard it. Only you heard it.
Oh, so you speak to Him, but
Now
you
you're-
don't hear Him.
The Holy Ghost told you.
You speak
Are
to
you
Him, but
asking or
never
telling?
hear. Are you
asking or telling?
I'm asking you.
Good. So wait for my answer. then.
You speak to Him, but you never hear Him.
When you ask, wait for the answer.
Go ahead.
That's the logical thing to do.
Do you not hear Him?
Wait for the answer.
Answer me.
Calm down. Because you seem to be very, I don't know, somehow
I don't know why you
jumping
think
to
that.
conclusions. Okay, when I read the Quran, I believe my God is speaking to me. Okay? Because the Quran is the words of Allah. Does that make sense to you?
No.
Good.
You believe in it. You don't hear it.
That's up to you. That's
don't speak to
Don't
him.
tell me what I believe.
You're not speaking. You
Don't
speak
tell-
it to yourself.
Don't tell me what I believe.
You're speaking
You're
to
the person.
yourself.
You're the person
You
who
might
believes.
believe whatever you want.
You're the person
but
who-
you can't say I speak to
You know,
Him
with all due
because
respect,
you're only speaking
you're the
to
person who
yourself.
believes that you might not even exist. So don't tell me what I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just listening to a person who believes in a God, that he speaks to that God, but the God never speaks back. And I believe that that God exists. What's the proof of that God existing? A religion that has not been the first religion and will certainly not be the last religion.
You know,
and you believe it exists because
for
you
a
know,
person,
your parents just told you that it exists.
Listen. For a person,
because when you speak to God and he doesn't not answer,
wait a minute.
and you believe that.
Wait a minute. Who said he doesn't
to
answer?
Be the word of
Who
God.
told you he doesn't answer?
You told me
My
that.
prayers have been answered many times.
That.
And don't tell me it's not been answered.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. So don't tell me what I believe. Look, you can believe your consciousness is your God, which you said, right? What is the proof of that?
The proof of what? Sorry?
That your consciousness even exists.
Look, it was a matter of speaking.
Oh, so it's not real?
I told you that conscience is not something that exists that I can grab. It's an ideology. It's an idea. It's an idea in your head that is created with time. Just like society, the way of living in a society. Something that is taught with from generation to generation. Something humans have evolved as a species.
So you're saying your consciousness is something which is immaterial, which maybe at one point did not even exist. Is that what you're saying?
I don't get the question, really.
Did your consciousness always exist? Did your God always
well,
exist?
When I was just born, it didn't exist.
Also, your God didn't exist when you were born?
Well, it seems so. Did your God exist when you were born?
Of course.
Then why are there people who leave Islam and become atheists? Why do they stop believing?
Wait. Just because they become atheists or they become agnostic, or some atheists and agnostic become Muslim.
Okay, wait. So
how
you
does
think
that
you
change
were
my
Muslim
God?
when you were born? You were born. Okay, I'm Muslim.
Yeah, every person, like I said.
Every person is a Muslim when he's born.
Are you answering? Asking or answering?
I'm asking you.
Oh, wait for the answer then.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. What was the definition of Muslim I told you earlier?
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to
no, because
follow
it's
that
important.
definition. That is a very bad definition.
Oh, so you're going to tell the Muslims what a Muslim is?
Yeah, I'm going to tell it because
what is
Islam was created after Muhammad was alive.
Yeah, based on whom? Based on whom?
Based on history.
Based on whose definition?
Based on history.
Which historian defined that?
He's who's been there.
You see, he's going to tell the Muslims what the Muslim
you can't
is.
You can't just say, okay, I'm a Muslim, I can define what Islam is.
No, you can't.
Exactly, you can't. Being a Muslim doesn't make you be able to define what Islam is.
You let the Christian define what Christianity is. You let a Muslim.
No, you don't.
Can I finish?
No.
Can I finish?
I'm sorry,
Can
sir,
I finish?
but you can't just say, okay, I'm a woman, I define what being a woman is. I'm a man, I define what being a man is. That's not how things work.
So who defines a man and a woman?
That's not how things work.
Who defines a man and a woman?
People who study, who know these things. The scientists, the historians are the ones who decide what Islam is.
You're telling me a scientist defines what a man and woman is?
No, I'm telling you a scientist defines what a man and woman is.
A scientist defines.
Yes.
Okay, and you believe the scientist is 100% right?
No.
So
he might be wrong. He's a human.
So the
he might be
scientist,
flawed.
listen, the scientist who defined you as a man, could he be wrong?
He could.
So it's possible you're a woman.
He could be wrong. He could make a mistake.
Is it possible you're a woman?
Impossible.
You see what I mean about illogicality?
Do you think people are perfect? People always.
Why do you always deflect the question?
You think that people always?
There are certain things in life you have to accept. Okay?
You see the
that
world
there is something called black and
and
something called white and something called grey. You cannot say everything is grey.
Sure.
There are many things which are black and which are white, and there are things which are grey. But if you're going to be hyper-skeptical, you're going to see everything
I am
as grey.
sorry, if you think your ideology is the only correct one and all the others are bullshit, then you are the dogmatic person here. And you simply refuse to accept the world as a complicated thing that it is. You just see the world in your own manner. And you refuse to accept the world in any different
Are those your words or my words?
These are your words.
When did I say it's bullshit?
These are your
When did I say bullshit?
You called, I think does I exist, philosophical mumbo jumbo.
Okay, so when I said that, what did I mean by that?
You meant that it was philosophical mumbo jumbo.
What did I mean by philosophical mumbo jumbo? Did you ask me? No, you didn't. You once again,
because it's a stupid
you once
thing to
again
say.
made.
Oh, it's mumbo jumbo.
You know when you said
How
ideology,
can you call just mumbo
listen.
jumbo the ideology of a very well-known philosopher?
Oh, is that
I think
so?
thus I exist. It's not mine.
Okay,
it's not mine.
So you think that is 100% certain?
No, I don't. But I think it's something worth considering.
Could it be mumbo jumbo?
It could be wrong.
Could it be mumbo jumbo?
Yes, it could be wrong.
So I was right. Thank you very much.
No, you weren't right. You
still didn't get it.
Look.
Okay.
I am and I might be are different things, and you refuse to accept it. All you see is I am or I am not. That's all you see.
And
you
what
don't
about
see
you?
I might be.
You know when you
never
said
see that.
when you said
you
1
see,
plus
okay,
1.
my God is this. My God exists. That's it.
But you said your God is your consciousness.
You only see the world in one way.
Did you not
refuse to see it in different ways.
You have an ideology too. You said your consciousness.
Yes, I do have an ideology.
You said your consciousness was your God.
Yes,
and you said
I believe in my ideology.
And you said when you were born, your God didn't exist.
And I believe in my ideology.
So your God was...
But if people prove me wrong, I will listen to them.
No, you
and
will not.
You will not prove me
wrong. No, you will not listen to them.
Because all you're doing is saying, I'm right and you're wrong. Should I tell
you why you will not listen to them?
Please do it.
Because you are a person who believes nothing is 100% certain.
And what's wrong with that?
That means you'll not believe anyone. Even if they told you the truth.
Well, if you believe everyone...
Say, even if somebody told you the truth, he will say, I'm not 100% certain. If somebody told him a 100% factual thing like a triangle has 3 sides, he will still say, no, could be wrong. You're a hyper-skeptical person. You created your God.
Do you think 9/11 happened?
Now we come to that.
Do you think 9/11 happened?
You know what?
I'm not going to do that.
A person,
do you think it happened?
listen.
No, that's...
I will answer after you answer. Okay. Because I answered. In fact, I asked you this question earlier. When I said to you, you created your God.
Yes.
Yes? That means you don't know the meaning of God. Because God is a creator. So if you created your God,
you should study a philosopher called
God.
Nietzsche. You know, for all the people who are watching, you should watch a quote by Nietzsche, which is, what does a man and the God say when they meet each other? They will say exactly the same quote, which is, my creator.
Which is what I mean.
Because man believes that God created him, but in reality, God was the one who created man.
Yeah. You know what is
man was the one who
so
created
your
God.
definition of God is different to the rest of the, at least the Abrahamic faith. Am I right?
Yes.
Your definition of God is someone that you create. Your desires.
It's a philosophical definition
of God. No, it's not a philosophical. You desire.
When you said I talk about philosophy if you don't know philosophy.
Oh, now you think you know philosophy.
I do know philosophy.
So for a person,
do you know the idea of the collective unconscious by Freud? You don't, do you?
Collective unconscious.
Collective unconscious.
Okay.
That is the God that he believed in.
Okay, that is his God. Is that your God?
Yes.
So your God is your collective unconsciousness.
Yes.
But you said you created your God by your consciousness.
Yes, because it's not exactly the same thing.
You see what I mean?
Look, I'm basing my ideology in his ideology, but it doesn't mean it's exactly the same.
So
that's
don't
the
say
difference between you and I.
Then.
Because
you
just accept other ideals as an absolute.
Actually, I don't.
I don't. Yes,
I don't accept every ideal. No.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You accept
if that was
the
the
faith
case,
in Islam as an absolute.
If that was the case,
you accept that your God exists, and there is no way of debunking that.
You know what?
Of course.
When
you define, that's how you put yourself.
Listen. When you define God as something that you create,
yes,
then your God is your creation.
So what?
It means He's not your God Almighty.
So what?
Okay, I think we should end here, because at the end of the day, if a person creates his own gods, that is exactly what the Quran says. Your desires are something that you basically worship. Yes? And this is what he does. He creates his desires and he says, that is my God, I'm going to act upon it. But tomorrow your desires will change. Then you create another God of yours. And day after tomorrow you say, no, my desires change again, I'm going to create another God of mine.
Well, and tomorrow you might stop being a Muslim.
You know what? One day you're going to die.
I am.
And all these questions are going to end.
I am.
And what if there is a life after death? What are you going to do then?
If there's a life after death?
Yeah, where is your philosophy going to go? You're going to smile? I don't think you're smiling.
Oh, that's a very big fallacy, my friend. Because there are many different religions. Yeah. And whether your religion is the right one is just a small fraction of a possibility. If I die and I don't believe in your God, the real God might be another religion's God.
Actually, you don't believe in a God.
Don't I?
No, you don't. Because what you believe in is your desire.
Really?
But you just don't want to admit it. You think your philosophical language will not tell me. And
okay, so I believe in my desire, so what?
Yeah, what that means is what? When you die, your desires die with you, right?
Maybe not.
Oh, you believe in life after death? Wow, that's a good... Actually, that's progress.
I believe that's a possibility.
No, but is there life after death?
I always told you that's a possibility.
There's a possibility. So listen to this. Have you heard of the new... what is called the Pascal's wager?
Who?
Pascal's wager.
Pascal's?
Wager.
Wager?
Yeah, it's a philosophical question.
Okay, go
someone who knows philosophy, I'm surprised you missed that out.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Someone who told me I don't know philosophy,
please enlighten me.
We're coming on his turf now.
Okay.
So listen to Pascal's wager. It goes something like that. Imagine there is a life after death. Sorry, there is no life after death.
Yeah.
You don't believe in God.
Okay.
And there is no life after death.
I don't believe in your God.
No, this is Pascal's wager, not you.
I don't believe in your God.
Hold on.
That's the difference.
Don't take it personally. I'm giving you...
I'm
telling you what the Pascal's wager is. I'm explaining to you.
It personally.
You are, because
you're
you're
shouting
saying...
at you? Am I?
No, it's not about shouting. It's for you to listen and be quiet. When I'm
Why
explaining,
should I be quiet?
because
I'm telling
you said
I don't believe in your God. That doesn't mean I don't believe in a God.
You know, when you ask me to tell me what the Pascal's wager is,
listen, your definition of God might be different to my definition of God.
He's doing it again. You asked me what's the Pascal's wager. I'm explaining to you.
Okay.
In order for me to do that, you have to remain quiet. Is that okay?
Well, you said that I don't believe in God, so
no,
I felt
I
like
said
intervening because you said something wrong.
Did you miss the word that is if? Just
okay,
before that?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, please be quiet so I can explain to you. If you believe in a God, if you don't believe in a God, any God, you're an atheist. Let's say you're an atheist. If, very important, yeah? If there is no God, and if there is no life after death, yes? And imagine we both died one day. Forget about imagine. One day we will die. And let's say what you're saying or what you believe is true. Did I, as a believer in God, lose out in any way, any shape, or any form? Did I risk anything?
If your God is the one that exists, you did.
No. Yeah. If what you're saying, that means there's no God and there is no life after death, and we both die, then you see both of us will not basically lose anything. Because we will die. You know, once you're dead, that's it. That's the end of it. End of the story. The end. There's nothing going to happen to you, nothing going to happen to me. Yes? So this is one if statement. Now we flip and we look at the other consideration, which is the person who believes in a religion, believes in God, and believes in life after death. So if a scenario in which there is no God and no life after death, I as a believer in God do not risk much. You as a non-believer in God do not risk much either. In fact, nothing, because both of us will die and that will be the end of it.
Yeah.
Now we flip it to a person who believes in God, to a person who believes in the life after death, and a person who believes that there is going to be consequences for your actions. As a person who believes in God, who has prepared himself, doesn't matter what religion he follows, just for the sake of the argument, yeah? Because he believes in God, and he believes... Listen. And he believes that there is going to be consequences of his actions in the afterlife. He lived his life in this world with kind of fearing doing wrong things, because he knows he's going to be punished for doing wrong things, like stealing, telling lies, backbiting people, killing people. All those things he stayed away from.
Okay.
Yes? So all the bad things he stayed away from, because he knows that there is going to be consequences if he did that.
Yeah.
And for the good things, there'll be reward for it. Now, if he dies and there really is God, and there really is life after that, and there really is consequences and reward, who is taking the bigger risk now? The person who does not believe in God, or the person who does believe in God?
In your God.
In this analogy I gave you, who's taking the bigger risk?
No, but this analogy that you gave me doesn't exist because there are many different religions. Imagine that actually the Christian God is the one that exists.
You missed the point.
How do you think the Christian God will accept you if he's the one that exists?
How
do you think the Greek gods will accept you if they are the ones who exist?
Can I finish the point?
But not your God.
Can I finish the point?
Now, think about this. What am I going to suffer? A person who's not certain about the existence of God, but accepts that as a possibility, but who will do nothing wrong during my life. I will not steal, I will not kill, I will not rape, I will not do any of the things that your God or the Christian God or the Jewish God is against. What will God do to me? Just because I was not certain that he exists, because there was no proof of it, just because I was not gullible enough to believe in his existence, because of what other people say around me, because that's why you believe in your God, because of what other people say and what other people believe of the environment you were inserted in, why would your God punish me? I wasn't born in the same environment as you were. I wasn't into the same kind of influence by Muslim people or something like that. Why would he punish me?
Shall I tell you why? Because the biggest sin is not only saying, stealing and killing and murdering. The biggest sin in the sight of Allah, in the sight of God, is you not A, acknowledging him, and B, associating partners. What does associating partners mean? Doing shirk. It means you believe everything else. Like you said, your consciousness is your God. That is associating, that is shirk. In the sight of God, that is the biggest sin you can commit, because you made your desires your God. So don't tell me that in this world when you live, you did not come across people who are religious, people who were telling you about the consequences if you die, the people who are telling you about many other things. So on the day of judgment, you cannot have that as an excuse that in the age of information, ignorance is a choice, which it is actually. Because if you decide that I don't know, just because I wanted physical proof of God and God did not give me any proof, he'll tell you, look, everything around you was the proof. the tree that you just saw earlier over there. You find the proof within yourself that you did not create yourself, the universe did not create itself. All this did not come about by accident. And if you think all that is something which was an accident, then that accident is also what you don't understand. How did it come about? From nothing? Because nothing cannot give rise to something.
And that is the exact example of a dogmatic way of thinking.
I haven't finished yet.
You're calling your truth as the absolute truth.
I haven't finished it. I'm coming to that. Now, with regards to all the other religions in the world, you know how I come to the conclusion that the monotheistic religions are the true ones and there is only one true religion within that as well? I'll tell you what. If, like the Greeks or the Romans or the Hindus or whoever that is who believes in many gods, polytheistic, yes, then they do not understand the difference between believing in one monotheistic God and believing in multiple gods, because the multiple God model has a huge problem with it. Imagine you got two gods who are equally powerful.
What's going to happen to them?
Can I finish? I'm explaining.
What's going to happen
I'm coming to that.
Are they going to hell?
I'm coming to that. Come down. Okay. Two gods who are equally powerful, yes, equally God, equally omniscient, and now they have a conflict. So one God, because they're equally powerful, they have equal willpower, isn't it? One God said, no, I want sunset now. Another God said, no, at this time I want sunrise. Remember, they're both equally powerful. Who wins? What happened in the Greek mythology?
In the Greek mythology, there's not two. Sorry.
It's all right. Thank you. In the Greek mythology,
there weren't two gods. There were many more
exactly,
gods.
but what happened most of the time?
In the beginning, there was a war between Titans and gods. The gods won it. You know, Kronos was the father of all the gods. It was not Zeus. Kronos, you know, his wife, she hid Zeus. She didn't tell Kronos that Zeus was his son because Kronos ate all of his children. There's actually a painting of Kronos eating his children.
Yeah, but we're getting sidetracked. I don't want the...
No, but listen, I'm telling you about the history.
Yeah, but that is something...
Not the history, but the mythology.
I'm still finishing
the mythology.
The pastor's wage. I'm still finishing that.
No, but the Greeks are not like that. You're giving the Greeks as an example.
No, I did not give an example. I asked you a question.
You said I asked
you. No, I gave you two. Okay, you can have multiple. Doesn't matter. The problem still will exist because if there are multiple gods, if there is more than one God, this problem is going to exist. What is the problem? If there are two equally powerful gods and one says the opposite of the other, then there will be war between the gods. Just like among the Greek gods there was wars, among the Hindu gods there was wars. Whenever you see polytheism, this model always have a lot of chaos between and conflict between the gods. Why? Because, like I said, if they're all equally powerful, they want to assert their will on the other. But if you have one God, that problem goes out. And that is the reason I believe that polytheistic religions are something which are false religions. Now coming to the monotheistic religions, because there are many religions who claim that there is one God. If this God is all-powerful, then that God will actually communicate to you through his revelations in different ways. And when we look at the revelation, one of the acid tests that is given in the Quran is this, that if this book is from anyone other than Allah, surely you will find discrepancies and contradictions in it. Now this is a test which remains to this day. Find contradictions in the Quran. Another test that is given in the Quran is bring a chapter like it. And you know what is the smallest chapter in the Quran? It is only 3 verses. The smallest chapter in the Quran has only 3 verses. Bring a chapter like it. No one to this day has brought a chapter like the one in the Quran, and this is another test. So God gives you certain tests. You pass that test, then surely you'll say that this message is from God.
Okay, why does the devil exist? It exists in Muslim faith, in the Christian...
I already explained to you about the Satan, remember?
No, well,
what did I tell
in this case, you told me that only one God may exist, because if there's more than one God, there's conflict.
No, what did I tell you about the Satan? Do you remember?
If Satan exists,
yeah, of course he exists,
then there's an opposing force to
Satan is not God, by the way. No, it's not.
Oh, he's not a God.
Satan is a creation of God.
Well, he has godly powers.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
God gave him whatever powers he has, God gave him those powers. Satan is a creation of God. Satan was not created evil.
And why does God not punish Satan then?
Because God has given the ability for the Satan to live as long as he desires it to live. Okay? So when the Satan basically misled Adam in the garden, he basically was caught in that particular instance, and so he was told to prostrate, and he did not prostrate, and God basically said, get out of here. But before he was exiled from there, he asked God for a favor. He said, allow me to live until, I don't know, until eternity, not eternity, but until the day of judgment or something.
And God actually
God gave him that freedom. And then he said that I will mislead your people away from your belief. Yes, I'm paraphrasing. And God said, you can try, but the people who are true, the people who are righteous, they will not believe in you. Yes? And that's the reason God sent prophets and messengers to every nation, to guide them towards the truth. And no nation will say, no person can say that on this day, on the day of judgment, that I did not have any revelation, I did not have anyone come to me and guide me to the truth. So every person has been given this opportunity, with a few exceptions, obviously. And those exceptions, on the day of judgment, God will judge them separately from the people who have been given messengers and prophets. So now with regards to the apostles' wager, if God is true, and if the life after death is true, where do you stand?
If God is true.
And the life after death.
I'm not going to come into that argument.
No, it's not an argument, it's a question to you. If
God is true.
Yeah, if God is true, and
true.
If the life after death is true, and the consequences and the reward are true, where do you stand?
Well, I'm standing pretty well, actually.
Are you? What have you prepared for that?
You know, the only religion that I can think of that actually punishes people for not actively praying and actively prostrating themselves before their God. You know, actually there's a whole bunch of them,
exactly.
Now that I think about it. But it basically puts me and you in the same spot.
No, it doesn't.
Because there's many religions that have existed throughout human history, and you are just gambling that your religion will be the right one, that your God will be the one God that will stand before you on Judgment Day.
I just explained that
and
to
that's a big gamble you're taking. That's just as big as my gamble.
Actually, it's not. I explained to you why. I explained to you why.
I'm actually open-minded about this.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So
if a God shows me messages, and if a God shows me that He exists, I will start believing in Him.
You remember earlier?
But God doesn't show me any messages.
Hold on. Have you looked at the Quran?
No, wait. Now I'm talking. Now you're interrupting me.
Fair enough. But I explained this to you already. You're just repeating it.
You really did.
Okay, which part did I not
There's
explain?
many religions, and what you're saying is that the prophets that existed before Muhammad, they were Muslims too. And I'm telling you, no, they were not Muslims, because the people who followed them were also not Muslims, and Islam as a religion and as an ideology didn't exist yet.
I answered
and
that
you're
question
saying
to you.
that, no, but they were Muslims. Makes no sense.
I answered that question already.
But also, there were many religions that existed throughout history, once again, and there's a very big choice of gods.
I addressed that as well.
Very large choice of gods. And you're reducing this choice to only if God exists or not. That's not the whole choice. The whole choice is whether all the gods that people thought about, all the gods that people created, whether any of them exists or not.
Did I not already address that?
No, you didn't.
About the polytheistic religions. Did I not address it?
So they're just all going to hell. All of them. They're just going to hell. No choice.
Hold on. It's not a choice. They were given choice. How long do you think is human life today? 80 years? 90 years?
Monotheistic religions didn't exist at that point.
Wait. Who told you monotheistic religions didn't exist at that point? Who told you that?
History tells you that.
History goes up to when?
Look, dude, during the Sumerians, the first human civilization that practiced writing, they had many gods. They were polytheistic. I was just about to say mono. They were polytheistic, man.
How do you know they were the first civilization?
No, because they were the first ones who started writing.
No, that is the first one that we have extant information.
Well, of course.
Well, look
what you're saying has no proof.
Wait a minute.
There is no proof in saying what you're saying.
Do you realize what you're doing there again? You're arguing from silence again.
From silence?
Yes.
I'm not arguing from silence.
Do you know what that means? It's a fallacy. It's a fallacy.
It's not. The fallacy is what you're doing.
Okay, what is the fallacy?
I'm giving you proof, and you're telling me, how do you know that this is not wrong?
Okay,
and I'm telling you because there's no proof that it's wrong. And you're telling me,
me know if you
there might be proof that we just don't have.
Let me know
and that's a very big fallacy, my friend.
Let me know if you understand the fallacy of silence. What is the fallacy of silence? From silence. You don't know, do you?
Go ahead. Please explain me the fallacy of silence. And explain me how I am practicing that
fallacy.
Don't
be cocky. If you don't know, say I don't know.
Well, you're being cocky this whole time.
No, I'm not.
You're calling other people. You're telling me stupid crap like 1 + 1 = 2. I'm sorry.
Does it not? Does 1 + 1 not equal 2?
Well, obviously it does equal 2.
If anyone who says otherwise...
We are talking about religion, we're talking about philosophy, we're talking about faith.
So when I say...
You can't compare 1 + 1 = 2.
You know what?
You believe in God or
in my faith, knowledge includes...
Yeah, in your faith.
In any faith,
No, not in any faith.
I'll tell you what, in any faith, knowledge includes mathematics. In any faith, trust me.
That's not about faith, it's just about common sense.
Exactly.
Exactly, not
Do you have that?
Yes, I do have common
sense. So 1 plus 1 is 2, right?
Yes.
So why are you arguing then?
I'm not arguing. I'm telling you, you shouldn't put that as an example because we're arguing
I didn't put
about
that as
religion.
an example.
Yes, you did many times.
When I
and
said
you put the triangle.
when I said argument from silence, you didn't understand, and you went on a tangent.
Go ahead.
Good. So,
what is the argument from silence?
Argument from silence is, for example, if you don't have evidence for something, and you say just because I don't have evidence, just because I have evidence that the Sumerians, from history, from archaeology, are the first ones to have some written knowledge, then I believe they were the first civilization. That is argument from silence. Because before that, maybe the evidence was destroyed by time. From time, because of time, the evidence was destroyed. Maybe there was civilization before that. How do you know?
Maybe there was.
That is
but
argument.
You have no proof of that. So you can't just assume that. You can't just come up with that.
My point exactly.
My point.
So don't say Sumerians were the first civilization.
I will say it because there's no proof of the opposite.
Good.
If there is no proof of the opposite, then I will say it.
So you can't make us.
You don't have proof of
wait.
You, look,
that is exactly what argument from silence is.
No, it's not.
Go and look it up if you don't know.
No, I'm sorry, but
all you have to look.
If I was physical, historical,
if I was in your place,
Sumerians existed.
Listen. If
what you're saying is the argument of silence because they're telling me that there might be some civilization that existed. It's just that we don't have any proof of it, and it might be true, but you can't argue that because there is.
I'm not arguing that. All I'm saying is that just because you have extant information about something, it doesn't mean nothing existed before that. Just like you said, there is a possibility.
There's a possibility.
Which is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you can't argue that there was one.
No, but what you're arguing is that is the first civilization.
You can say that there might be, but you can't say
Did
that
you not
there
say,
was.
Did you not say that is the first civilization?
Sorry?
Did you not say that was the first civilization?
The Sumerians?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is that a factual statement?
Yes.
So there was no civilization before that?
Yes.
You're certain about that?
If we don't have any proof that there was.
So you're not certain?
Well, I'm not certain.
Good, so that's what I'm saying. When you have lost certainty, then you cannot say that.
Okay, so you are not.
All I'm saying.
So there is nothing you
can
be certain about.
I'm certain.
There is no proof of the contrary.
Hold on.
There is no
when
proof
you say
that any civilization existed before the Sumerians.
For me, I believe.
any civilization.
I believe in God. I believe in God's creation.
Okay.
I don't believe my desire is my God, unlike you. I believe that God. Yeah, you did actually. It's on camera. It's on camera. If you don't believe it.
Well, I was just joking about it because you kept saying it, even though I never said it.
So do you?
I told you, yeah, okay. I do.
So let me get this straight. Do you believe in God or not?
I do.
Who is God?
I'm not going to answer that.
You see what I mean?
Because my God is not the same as yours.
I didn't say
and
God.
I don't have the exact definition of my God without my God actually speaking to me.
How do you know?
I don't think that my God is speaking to me.
How do you know that's your God then?
How do you know that's your God?
Because my God speaks to me through the Quran. I told you already.
Through the Quran? That was written by people?
Of course it was.
No. Well, by people, not by your God.
I didn't say it was written by God. I never said that.
Well, if it was written by people, how can you be sure that it's the word of your God?
Because my God has certain acid tests within that. When I use that acid test on other religious books, my book stands out clear from that.
You can't prove that. You can't be certain of that.
Well, you haven't.
It was written by people.
Have you read the Quran?
Written by people. It was not.
Have you read the Quran?
It has nothing to do with the question.
You know,
it was not written
I never
by
said.
God. It was written.
I never said it wasn't
written
by people. When did I say it wasn't? Of course, it was written by people.
Well, if it's written by people, how can you believe that that's the absolute word of your God?
I'll tell you why. It was written by people, but it was revealed by God.
Oh, really? How did he reveal it?
How did he reveal it?
Yeah.
Through the angel. Through the angel Jibril.
Did you see the angels revealing it?
I didn't see the angel.
Well,
what is the point?
The point is, I'm giving you the exact example that you were giving me.
No.
I was telling you that the Sumerians were the first civilization. There is proof, written proof, that they are the first civilization because they were the first ones to, start writing. And you're telling me that there might be a previous civilization.
Yes.
And I'm telling you the same.
Yes.
What you believe in might be wrong.
No.
Because just as there might be a previous civilization to the Sumerians, what people wrote in the Quran might not be the actual word of your God.
For a person,
and you don't know anything that can prove the contrary.
First and foremost, have you read the Quran?
Here we go again. You know, this is a very common fallacy by Muslims and by Christians too.
Asking have you read the Quran is a fallacy? How?
What does it have to do with the conversation?
It's got everything to do.
It has nothing to do with the conversation.
Listen, if someone is making a judgment on a particular book...
I'm not making a judgment on the Quran itself. I'm making a judgment on your perception that it's the absolute word of God, which has nothing to do with what is written
A person who is insecure to say who his God is...
Insecure?
Yeah, because you say you don't want to say who your God is.
Insecure.
Do you know who your God is?
Listen,
He asked me so many questions about my God. I had no problem telling him.
Yeah,
but
because you're dogmatic. A dogmatic person will never have problems saying what they think is true, because they're absolutely certain that their little tiny world is the absolute truth.
You don't want to say
because that's what you believe in.
You know why you don't want to say who your God is?
Truth. But you will never accept the possibility that you might be wrong,
which is an absolute possibility. Why you're not telling us who your God is? Because you realize you're dogmatic
because
too.
I'm not entirely certain of it. Because I accept uncertainty. Because I accept that I am not perfect. That my knowledge is not absolute. Now you believe that your knowledge is an absolute. You believe you're the cleverest,
I didn't say all my knowledge.
You're the enlightened one.
You see, he's putting so many words in my mouth.
You're the person.
Did I say all those words?
I'm not putting any word in your mouth, because that's the logical conclusion of what you are saying.
So let me ask you this.
If you believe that your God is the only one and it exists, even though you don't have any reliable proof of it, then you are a dogmatic person. That's what being a dogmatic person means.
Do you say you have a God and you're saying you don't want to tell us who your God is? Earlier you clearly
because
said,
I'm not certain of it.
So you,
and I admit it.
When you say you're not certain,
you are certain.
Okay, wait.
Even though you don't have any proof.
Is there anything certain about your God? Anything at all?
No.
So do you even know your God exists?
I don't, because I'm not a dogmatic person.
You don't have to be dogmatic to know something exists.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Oh my God. He doesn't know what dogmatic is. If something doesn't even exist, you don't even know if God exists
or not. Human ideology has changed throughout history. There were times when humans thought that we were living, on top of a huge tortoise. That there was a huge turtle,
Yeah, but
and we were living on top of it.
We're not talking about that.
But there were people who believed it. You can't think that what you believe now is the absolute truth. That is a big fallacy and very, very dogmatic. You just restrict yourself. You absolutely cut any kind of possibility that you might be wrong.
Do you know that anyone who believes that we came from nothing, yes?
Do you believe that all ravens are black?
Can I at least finish a statement?
Do you believe that
Can I finish a statement without interrupting?
All ravens are black?
Can I finish my statement at least? If you believe that everything came from nothing, to me that is a dogmatic, illogical...
I am not certain of it. I will not say...
You're doing it again. You didn't let me finish the statement.
Because I'm not certain of it. You're saying that I believe it,
but I'm not
certain of it.
Why are you angry? Calm down. Calm down.
Angry?
Yes, you are. You don't realize
Why do you keep saying that I'm angry?
Because when I see your expression, it shows of anger.
Well, you might think it's anger.
Well, anyway,
excitable.
Just like you think that your God is the only one.
Let's define what God is before we say he exists or he doesn't exist.
Let's not.
You see, everything about his God is a mystery. Everything he wants to keep it as a mystery, and he wants to ask 101 questions.
You know what a God is for me?
Yeah, what is it?
A God is a tool made by humans to live in a society. That's what God is. Humans create gods to feel better about themselves because they need answers. They need answers they need causes, reasons for their suffering, for their happiness.
God?
They need to live in some kind of an organized mentality.
Is that your God?
That's why people create God.
Is that your God?
That is the God that exists.
What is your God?
That is my God.
So your God is your desires. Basically, that's what you told me.
My God is my conscience.
Which is your desire.
Of course.
You see, earlier he denied that his God is conscious. Did he not say that?
No, listen.
Just 5 minutes ago, he said his God is not his conscious.
My desire might tell me to steal something, and my conscience will tell me, do not steal. Because that's what conscience is.
A person who keeps lying that his God is his conscience. Yes, I'll tell you why you're lying.
Lying.
Just a minute ago, when I told him your God is your conscience, he denied it. Did he not deny it?
I never denied it.
Did he not deny it? I'm asking the people. Did he not deny it?
You're asking the people when most of the people have got here like 10 minutes
ago. Does the camera lie?
So what?
Does the camera lie?
Oh, you're asking if the camera lies?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Does the camera lie?
Well, it's just
what if he rewind it and show you
what we're saying?
Obviously, what if he rewind it and show you lying deliberately? Would you then accept that you're lying? Because a minute ago when I asked you, you made your conscience your God.
Yeah, there was one time when I lied to you deliberately and I admitted that I was lying a minute after.
You know what you said? You know what you said? You said I made it as a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke, man. If you can't get jokes,
so you're telling me your conscience is your God is still a joke?
Jokes now. I can't use sarcasm to talk to you.
It's not sarcasm. Is your consciousness your God?
Yes.
Is that a joke?
No.
Is that sarcasm? So
no,
you see, I was right.
Sarcasm.
Earlier he said that was a joke.
Listen,
and that is
my perception of God. If you believe that God is a transcendent entity, then I don't believe in that kind of God.
Why?
My definition of God is different definition to your definition of God.
I agree.
And that's why I think that conscience is God.
That's why I said I agree that your God is not my God.
Well, your God is not my God.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. But when I told
what
you,
are we arguing about?
When I told you, you made your conscience and your desire as your God.
It's not desire. That's not desire. My desire will tell me I want to steal, and my conscience will tell me do not steal.
Okay, so
because I feel bad about stealing.
Okay, wait. So when I told you earlier, actually I used the word conscious, not desire. Now I remember. When I told you you made your God, so your consciousness as your God, and
my
you
conscience.
also told your conscience, and you also told me your conscience did not exist from day one, from the day you're born, right?
Yes.
So God came into existence later on.
Yes, it was created by me.
Good. So you created your own God.
Yeah, but it's not desire.
Do you not see the illogicality of that?
Illogicality. Of course, it's much more logical to just believe what other people think around you.
No, we don't believe everything people believe. We don't do that.
Yes,
if that was the case, I will believe like the Hindus who believe the elephant is a god.
No.
Elephant god and monkey god and these gods. I won't believe that.
I will live in a society that works. I will believe what people believe if it works.
What do you mean works?
If it works, if it's civilized.
Really? Hitler thought his society was civilized?
Sorry?
Hitler thought his society was civilized.
Well, it didn't work, did it?
So you
he
wouldn't
got himself in a war he could never win. He got himself exterminating whole nations.
According to your principle...
Is that right?
According to your principle, you said you will live in a society that works. So if you were living in a Nazi society at that time, it would work for you, right?
Yeah, I might think that way if I lived in that society.
But that's what I'm saying.
But eventually it would be obvious that it doesn't work.
No, but the thing is, you wouldn't have that hindsight, would you?
Of course I wouldn't. People are not omniscient. They don't know everything.
Do you realize what you're saying?
Do you... Whoa, okay, what am I saying? What am I saying that you don't agree with?
No, it's not what I don't agree with. It's what you have to realize. You said a society which works, I'm okay to live in that. Yes? So because you don't know what the society is going to end up...
Okay, there is
Can I finish? Every time I talk, you interrupt.
Because you're starting to say things that I never told you.
Yeah,
you're misunderstanding what I'm telling you.
Let me finish.
I let you finish because you keep misunderstanding.
Now you're getting angry again, I don't know why. Let me finish. You're saying a society...
Why are you saying I'm getting angry?
Because look at your expression. When I said the society, when you said your society which works, the society which works, you'll be okay to live in that. Did you say that or not?
Yeah, I did.
Good. So according to Hitler, this white supremacist, this Nazi fascist person, according
the man
to...
who preferred Islam to Christianity.
Can we finish? No, he wasn't a Muslim.
Yes, he wasn't a Muslim, but he always...
But he was a Christian.
You actually didn't.
He
like
was a Christian. He was baptized in a church.
Look it up. You look it up.
He was baptized in a church.
Hitler.
He got married in a church.
Hitler.
He had a cross on his planes.
Hitler kept saying
he has a swastika.
He preferred Islam to Christianity because Christianity was too mild.
Whether it's history or not, it is a fact that he was a Christian at some point.
It is a fact that he was a Christian, but he
was never a Muslim. He was never a Muslim, but at least a Christian.
Right? You can look it up. You can look it up.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
Was he a Christian at some point?
On the internet.
Was he a Christian at some point?
Sorry?
Was he a Christian at any point? Was he a Muslim at any point?
No.
So which one you preferred? See what I'm talking about, illogical fallacies?
He couldn't just become a Muslim at that time of the whole year.
Don't tell me what he could become. Don't tell me what he could become.
He needed the support.
Don't tell me what he could become.
Exactly. So he needed to call himself Christian.
The reason he allied with the Ottomans is because he wanted political help from the Ottomans. It doesn't mean he preferred Islam. It is a political gamble he played.
It doesn't mean he preferred Islam. He spoke about it himself.
Where were we going? Yeah, we were going with...
about preferring Islam.
We were talking about your desire as your God. So you created your own God.
That, and you keep saying
okay, sorry, your
conscience.
Your conscience.
Okay, my conscience.
Your conscience is your God.
Yes.
And you created your God.
Yes.
Okay, so your definition of God and your God is completely different to mine. I agree with that.
Okay.
Okay? But the point remains this. Do you... Once you realize that there is a life after death and there's going to be consequences.
If I realize.
Yeah, if you realize and it is true.
If there actually is.
Yeah, if it is true, how have you prepared yourself for that?
I prepared myself to that by living a fair life. By not killing, not raping, not stealing.
By doing everything.
That's how I prepared myself.
By basically not acknowledging the true God. By rejecting,
I don't deny his existence. I just don't believe he... I don't deny the possibility of his existence. He might exist.
No, but you said that God of yours, you have already made up your mind who your God is.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of God. That's not a transcendent entity.
So how many gods do you believe in?
That's a psychological tool to live in a society.
How many gods do you believe in? You really have to know what God is, because it looks like you're struggling.
You're struggling. Because conscience is a tool to survive in society, and that's why gods were created. Because people feel good about thinking that they are pleasing this kind of transcendent entity. Because people need answers to their questions that they can't answer by themselves. Because we are flawed beings.
Okay, let me ask you.
That's why you believe in your God, because you can't bear the possibility that what you're doing might not have a meaning. You need a meaning to everything you're doing.
Do you not,
that's why you
do you not need a meaning?
That's why you believe in your... I do have my own meanings,
exactly,
but I don't need...
But you make your meanings.
I don't need to believe in a God to have meaning.
No, you do. Otherwise you start believing your conscience as your God.
Yes.
That's what I mean. So you need meanings.
So what? Am I doing anything wrong? Am I killing? Am I living, am I raping people? Am I stealing?
You know what?
I'm not, am I?
You know what? Many people say the same
I'm not
thing.
Very different from you, am I?
Many people have somehow convinced themselves that their conscience is right and to kill is right because their conscience tells them.
Like you have. Like you convince yourself that your conscience is right and your God is the only one that exists.
Have you not done the same?
Like you have convinced yourself.
Have you not done the same?
I have, but I accept the possibility that I might be wrong, which you don't accept.
No, but the thing is...
And that's the big difference between us.
Hold on.
I'm talking to you in the terms that if you prove me wrong, I will accept it. You're talking to me in the terms that you need to prove me wrong.
Yeah, the reason for that is because I believe...
that's the difference between us.
I'll tell you why.
And that's why you can't understand my ideal that I accept the possibility that I might be wrong. You think that's stupid. You think that's illogical.
Unlike you, I believe there are things which are 100% certain.
Well,
that's
your problem.
You don't.
That's your problem.
Am I right? You don't.
That's your problem.
You don't believe there are things which are 100% certain.
I don't.
Okay, so you're skeptical. In fact, you're super skeptical about everything.
I never look. That's your fallacy. That's your fallacy.
It's not my fallacy. It's yours.
I'm telling you, no, it's your fallacy because I told you I don't believe anything is 100% certain. I never told you everything is 100% a lie.
Okay, 1 + 1 is 2. Is that 100% certain?
Oh Lord!
You see, we'll find out in a minute.
I told you, even to the camera. I said to the camera that this man keeps bringing 1 + 1 = 2.
Is that 100% certain?
Debate. To a religious
It's not
debate.
a religious debate, it's about common sense.
It is.
It's about psychology.
Common sense.
It's about religion.
You believe in God.
It's about
1
many things.
+ 1 = 2.
Yes.
No.
Because look, when I said about 100% certain,
man.
I'm not about God here only.
1 + 1
I'm talking about anything.
2 is not the same as a lie exists.
I said anything, not only God. Is anything 100% certain?
Is anything 100% certain?
Yes, I'm not talking about God only.
No.
You see what I mean? So it's not only about religion. It's about anything.
Well,
and this man is saying no.
No,
Okay.
there's a difference between thinking that
I think
nothing is certain.
This conversation has been long enough.
Everything is 100% uncertain.
I think there are many things.
A percentage of uncertainty.
There are many things in life which are 100% certain. Like 1 + 1 = 2 is 100% certain. Like a triangle has 3 sides is 100% certain. This man thinks there's nothing in life that is 100% certain. No wonder he thinks
this
it's
man
consciousness.
greatly misunderstands the ideology of a person who accepts that he might be wrong.
Okay.
Because you are a dogmatic person.
Is there anybody?
Again, you are a very dogmatic person.
Let's see if everybody here is dogmatic. Is there anyone here who thinks that there is nothing 100% certain? Anyone other than him?
Please.
You see, apparently
Appeal
nobody.
to the public.
Why not?
Why yes?
Because we are not the only ones who exist in this world. The public also does.
Obviously, we're not the only ones who exist here, and that's why what you fail to.
So why does everyone disagree with you? Why?
Who said that everyone disagrees with you?
Ask the same question yourself.
Well, even if every single person in this exact spot disagrees with me, that doesn't mean everybody ever disagrees with me.
So who in the world exists that says that there's nothing in this world which is 100% certain?
Well, I did get my ideas from somewhere, didn't I?
wonder
there are
who.
philosophers who believe that.
Who is that?
You know Descartes?
No, I don't.
Yeah, Descartes is a French philosopher.
What does he say?
French philosopher, he knows.
Did he say?
He knows.
Il sait, je pense donc je suis.
Sorry?
I think and I have a doubt.
I think and I have a doubt.
The last of
This man said that's mumbo jumbo.
He believes in God, huh?
Huh?
He believes in God, Descartes.
Yeah, okay. Descartes also believed in the idea that he needed.
Oh, he was a Jesuit Christian?
Yeah, he was Christian, yeah.
He was a Christian and he believed in God. So he doesn't agree with you then. Nice try, by the way.
Listen, you're making so many fallacies at one
Give
spot.
me one person.
So many fallacies.
Give me one person
I agree
from
with
your
this.
life
No.
who
I
says
agree.
100% uncertain.
I agree. I might agree with some parts of his ideology. I don't have to agree with every single part of his ideology. Now you're saying that this man is saying that if I don't agree with part of his ideology, I don't agree with any of his ideology.
Maybe
which
one
is a
statement from you.
I like his jacket.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How are you, my friend?
Muhammad, this gentleman here believes that there is nothing in our life, in our existence, that is 100% certain. That means there is no such thing as objective truth.
Are you certain about that?
I'm not.
Khalas, you're finished, brother. Goodbye.
All right, anyway. I think we got to go pray, but thanks for your time. What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
Pablo.
You're sure about that? 100% certain?
Well, my parents did tell me that that's the name they gave me.
But you're 100% certain that's your name, yeah?
Maybe I'm a member of royalty somewhere.
Do you know this happened? You know, there's the debate, brother, come, before you go.
Sure.
Between Socrates and the sophists. Have you heard of this?
Of course.
Eventually Socrates was killed because they didn't, they didn't like what
Bro,
he was
I need
saying.
to go pray, yeah?
That's how I feel right
It's not
now.
raining anyway.
Don't kill me, brother.
No, I'm the one who's gonna get killed. I'm the one who'll get the poison here.
No,
because it seems like nobody agrees with what I'm saying.
Socrates and the sophists. The sophists were people who believed in like a relative truth, yeah? People who made a very similar argument to you and said there's no absolute truth, there's no objective
maybe.
truth, yeah?
Maybe.
That's what they said. And so he said, look, if you believe in that everyone has an a relative truth, what I'm saying, and that truth is personal to people, yeah? What I'm saying is that there's an objective truth. Yes?
Where is that true?
No, I'm just saying,
it's objective?
my claim is just that there's an objective truth.
I don't agree.
No problem. If you don't agree, and what you're saying is not certain, and what I'm saying is certain.
For you?
Yeah, for me, then khalas, then what he said, what Socrates said.
You might be wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, Socrates wasn't wrong. This is how he beat the Socrates.
You might be wrong.
Anyways.
There's a possibility.
There's a possibility.
That's the thing. If Socrates really, I don't think Socrates said that, but if he did say it, that's a dogmatic point of view, because that's him thinking that his point of view is true and the other point of view is wrong. And you need to prove that. You can't just say I'm right, you're wrong.
You prove to me that dogma necessitates falsehood.
I can't.
There you have it, my friend. Shake my hand.
Well, you can't prove to me that the dogma is true.
No, that wasn't my claim anyways. Goodbye,
you're not proving anything.
I need to pray, my friend.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, pray.
Islam is not a dogma, like it's common sense.
Common sense?
Yeah.
How is it common sense? Why didn't common sense exist before Islam?
Well, it did, of course it did.
No, it didn't.
There's always been Islam, since Adam and Eve.
Common sense has been since Adam and Eve. Oh, Lord.
The point is, do you believe in miracles?
Miracles are common sense.
Content over everything. From your humanity. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen! COE! Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. I don't even listen to Sky Magic. I just listen to COE! Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. I don't even listen to Sky Magic. Man, just listen to COE! Man, just listen to COE! Man, just listen to COE! If you see me in COE! Content over everything. COE!
Man, not even know BBC. Man, not even know ITV. Not even listen to the MUM. They just listen to COE.